That's Killer Mike speaking.
I want that grandchildren money. That's what I'm after. So that's my next thing, investments.
A man worth millions breaking the entire game down in a single sentence. And trust me, he's not the only one moving like that. J. Cole, a 9-figure artist, has openly admitted he still carries the fear of being broke.
I don't never ever want to be broke again, so I'm slow to like.
Let that sink in. These are some of the richest rappers alive, yet they move through life like everyday people. No constant flexing, no desperate need to prove anything. Let's really break this down. Take J. Cole.
I just come from fear. It's like, bro, I don't never ever want to be broke again, so I'm slow to like.
His net worth is estimated somewhere between $60 million and $117 million. Yet you'll catch him wearing Crocs in public, grabbing food at regular spots, moving like the same dude from around the block who just happened to drop a few timeless albums. Now yeah, behind the scenes, there's a different story.
Frugal means you don't spend because you're a cheap at. Mindful means, yeah, I'll splurge, I'll treat myself, there's things that I do.
I would definitely say mine.
A Lambo, Porsche, a Bentley, all sitting in the garage collecting dust, but his daily ride, an old Honda Civic. Those luxury cars, they're not tools for validation, they're trophies, and he doesn't even feel the need to look at them. You won't see him posting them, you won't see him flexing them. He doesn't need anyone keeping score. When Cole sat down with Kevin Hart on Heart to Heart, he explained it perfectly, not as some calculated, humble image, but as raw, unfiltered truth. When Kevin asked if that made him cheap or overly frugal, Cole didn't hesitate. He drew a clear line. He built a studio inside his home, added a private gym, even put in a basketball court so he could hoop anytime without depending on anyone else. Every dollar he spends, it circles back to him. Energy, creativity, freedom, control over his own lane. Cole has always been calculated, patient, never chasing quick money, never rushing into deals just for the bag. He lets leverage build before he makes a move. And when it comes to giving back, he didn't just write a check to some distant charity. He took his actual childhood home in Fayetteville and turned it into a safe place for people who needed it. Not a headline, not a PR move, real impact. Then you've got Slim Thug, a multi-millionaire who didn't just stack money from music, he multiplied it through Houston real estate, building affordable housing, running his own operation independently, and still dropping music on his own terms.
Those early days of Swisher High selling mixtapes, it taught me my value early.
But look at how he lives. Basic tees, cheap shorts, the type of outfit you'd wear to a backyard cookout, not a multi-million-dollar meeting. And that's intentional. His philosophy has always been simple. Assets over liabilities. Skip the designer, avoid the car notes, ignore the club tabs, because a lot of what looks like success is actually draining your future. Slim Thug came into the game already thinking like this. His grind started way before fame. Back in high school, selling mixtapes out of his backpack on Highway 249 in Houston. Before the industry even knew his name, he was already making real money. By graduation, he had multiple cars and was sitting close to $100,000 in cash. No label, no cosign, just pure hustle. He even opened his own CD store, all before fully stepping into the rap game as the world knows it. Then there's D1, a millionaire rapper and educator who built his entire message around something that sounds almost revolutionary in hip-hop.
Why do your jeans always be so tight fitting on you? This when skinny jeans wasn't in. She's like, why your jeans always just so tight? Like they not, like you wear Wranglers, you know what I mean? She was like, why do you wear Wranglers all the time? And when she told me that, I was like, yo, I gotta get my money up.
Don't spend money you don't have on things you don't need to impress people who don't care. He paid off his student loans, cleared all his debt, and turned that moment, hitting zero, into music. And his daily car? A 1998 Honda Accord with over 300,000 miles, and he refuses to replace it. But the reason behind that mindset goes deeper. It goes back to one moment, 9th grade English class in New Orleans. A girl named Tracy called out his Wrangler jeans in front of everyone. That moment could have broken him. Instead, it built him. He didn't chase money to flex. He chased it so he'd never feel small again, never feel judged for what he had on, never feel like he wasn't enough because of what his family could afford. That purpose, that's what keeps that Honda running past 300,000 miles, while a millionaire sits behind the wheel smiling. Because when people look at the car and then look at him and can't connect the dots, that's the real power. Yassine Bey lived a life that most people in the industry couldn't even comprehend. Simple, private, intentional.
Annual African American spending.
What we all spend together.
What we all collectively spend together is 1.35 trillion now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How do we convert income to generational wealth? Because whether we hustle to get it, you know what I'm saying? Whether we gamble to get it, whether we rob to get it.
At one point, he stepped away from the noise entirely and spent time in South Africa, far removed from the chaos of American celebrity culture. No constant cameras, no pressure to perform success, just faith, creativity, and peace of mind. The kind no chain, no endorsement deal, no viral moment could ever buy. Then you've got Tech-9, a man who built a $20 to $40 million empire without ever signing away his vision to a major label.
I'm talking to you. You ain't gonna never get no real money unless you get smarter than you. I'm just telling you.
His strange music compound in Kansas City isn't just a studio, it's a full ecosystem. Recording facilities, merch operations, even a car wash, a business machine. And yeah, he has access to Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Rolls Royces, but those aren't for flexing. They're tied to the business. That's the difference. And most importantly, he never left Kansas City. And then there's Eminem, a man worth over $250 million who still moves like he's got something to lose. No loud flexing, no constant jewelry, no need to remind the world who he is, because he already knows. Eminem didn't come from comfort, he came from survival. Detroit, struggle, chaos, the kind of environment where nothing is guaranteed and everything can disappear overnight. And that mindset, it never left him. While other rappers started upgrading their image, Eminem stayed the same. Same focus, same hunger, same discipline. He didn't move to Hollywood. He didn't start chasing attention. He stayed in Michigan, quiet, private, locked in. Because for him, success was never about being seen, it was about being secure. Now, yeah, behind the scenes, the money is real. Car collection worth millions, properties, investments, but you won't see him posting it. You won't see him trying to prove it, because the moment you need to show it, you already lost control of it. Eminem treats money differently, not like something to celebrate, but something to protect. Every dollar means something, not because he needs it, but because he remembers when he didn't have it. Then there's Russ, the man who made the entire label system look questionable just by explaining the math. Russ didn't just avoid labels, he exposed them. He built $1 million per month streaming empire while owning 100% of his masters. No cosign, no compromise, just patience, leverage, and understanding the business early, something most artists learn too late.
Without having to cut you in.
Right.
I'll just get told no. So
what am I sharing the profits in?
if you can get told no, makes no sense.
Exactly.
I'll keep 100%.
At one point, he broke it down in the simplest way possible. Why give away half your money to someone who can't even guarantee results? A label can call Spotify and still get told no. He can call Spotify and get told no for free. So why split the outcome? Russ kept everything, and when he won alone. He owns his entire catalog, keeps his lifestyle practical, drives normal cars, invests in real estate, even built himself a backyard basketball setup. And when he did partner with Columbia Records for radio access, he had one condition: his TuneCore catalog stays untouched. They agreed because he already had leverage. And when that deal stopped serving him, he paid $1.5 million out of pocket just to walk away, while having a #1 record. That's not ego, that's control.
Macklemore built an entire career proving you can sell millions while telling people not to buy unnecessary things. Thrift Shop wasn't just a hit, it was a statement. And ironically, it became more influential than any luxury brand campaign. Yes, today he owns a waterfront mansion in Seattle and a collection of classic cars, but the mindset, still the same. Family first, purpose-driven music. No need to perform wealth for approval. In an industry addicted to validation, Macklemore chose authenticity and stuck with it for over a decade. Redman has always been brutally honest about what he's chasing, and it's not what you see on Instagram. For him, wealth isn't about looking rich, it's about creating something that outlives you, something your great-grandkids can feel without even knowing your name.
Niggas that show money, they ain't got no money. They ain't really got no.
He turned down $500,000 endorsement deals for products he didn't believe in because
that grandchildren money. I want that grandchildren money. That's what I'm after. So that's my next thing. Investments, learning, being in the right circle to learn.
He understood something deeper. His name is his most valuable asset. And once you cheapen that, you can't buy it back. That's why he and Method Man still move like legends. That's why the respect never faded. That Jersey apartment people joked about, that wasn't struggle, that was discipline. Then there's Chamillionaire, a man who watched the industry burn money on cars and decided to play a completely different game. Instead of depreciating assets, he invested. Early stakes in companies like Lyft and Ring turned into massive payoffs. While others were flexing, he was compounding. Now sitting on $30 to $50 million, much of it from tech, not music, because he understood one thing: a car loses value the second you drive it. Ownership in the right company can multiply your money hundreds of times. Master P is one of the greatest independent success stories ever. From the Calliope projects to building No Limit Records into a powerhouse. But the real difference? He didn't just work hard, he studied the game. He paid $25,000 to learn deal structures from Michael Jackson's lawyer, then went and secured a deal that made him richer than the label distributing him. That's not luck, that's strategy. Today, his focus has shifted from making money to teaching money. Now let's talk about 50 Cent, because he's the exception in style, but not in mindset. He doesn't pretend to be humble. Private jets, luxury cars, lifestyle on full display. But here's what matters. He went bankrupt in 2015, publicly, and came back stronger. Most of his rebuilt wealth didn't come from music, it came from investing, from ownership, from learning the real cost of looking rich. He saw what chasing jewelry and image can lead to, and now, the real flex is the empire. Ice Cube kept it simple from day one. When asked what he bought with his first money, a car. Not for status, because he needed it. While others were blowing checks on Corvettes, he stayed grounded. And that mindset carried him from South Central to a $160 million empire. Because he understood something early. Don't let the flex destroy the foundation. And finally, Lil Dicky. Probably the most self-aware and unapologetically cheap rapper ever. A man who turned saving money into a hit record. Save That Money wasn't just funny, it was real. Because at the end of the day, the real flex is keeping what you earn. He approached the game with a completely different formula. The idea was simple: spend as little as humanly possible and still make the biggest impact possible. While most rappers would have poured a full budget into production, rented luxury locations, and built everything from scratch, Lil Dicky did the opposite. He grabbed a minimal camera crew and went door to door across Los Angeles, literally knocking on strangers' doors, asking if he could use their mansions, their yachts, their spaces, for free. No connections, no guarantees, just belief. When he later sat down with Rich Eisen, he broke the whole story down. He got rejected 49 times in a row. 49 straight no's. Think about that. Most people would have quit after 5, but on the 50th door, everything changed. An older woman, Mrs. K, answered and said yes. And because Lil Dicky is exactly who he presents himself to be, authentic, creative, relentless, He sold her on the vision right there, on her doorstep. That one yes opened the door to everything else. From there, he improvised, borrowed locations, used other people's setups, slipped into spaces he didn't own. He filmed parts on someone else's video set, shot scenes in clubs he didn't book, even used a boat he didn't rent. And somehow, he turned almost nothing into one of the most viral rap videos of the year. Not because of money, because of mindset. Because that's really who he is, not a character, not an image, but a strategy. Today, yeah, he's leveled up. A multi-million-dollar home, a successful TV show, Dave, a solid position in the industry. But the core hasn't changed. The same frugal, calculated, self-aware energy is still there. Because for Lil Dicky, money doesn't change the equation. He was wired differently from the start, and no amount of success is going to make him suddenly throw on a chain and forget the principles that got him there. So now I gotta ask you, which one of these surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments, and hit the next video on screen, because this rabbit hole goes even deeper.